Unnecessary intro song to totally waste your time.
You want a hot take? Here's a hot take. This is something not a lot of people are going to say. I don't know why they're not saying it. I think we've been slow walked into a stupid way of thinking. Most of the ways we think are stupid. And here's a stupid way to think. As soon as somebody turns away from you, you're no longer allowed to shoot them. You're only allowed to shoot somebody if they're coming towards you. You know? You have to wait for them to be a for sure threat to you before you can shoot them. You can't use your brain until that moment. You have to wait for the moment in time when your adrenaline is probably pumping the most and when you're most at risk before you make a decision to save your life or to save somebody else's life. That is bullshit. Okay? That is doctrine invented by criminals who want to be able to slither away and get away with shit. If you think like that, you can surprise somebody the last second. Or you can turn around and you can kill somebody else. You know, right now, everybody's acting like a smart guy on the internet. Oh, she was turned. You know, I'm speaking about the ICE agent who was properly trained and smartly trained and had his own defense in mind when he shot a white lady that was disobeying orders, that was trying to block them, just trying to be a hero. And she sped towards him, hit him, you know, and he shot her. That's his training. Okay. That was a stupid thing I just said. That was his instinct. That's what he was born with. That's what God gave him, right? Eliminate the threat. Survive. Go home to your family. Doesn't matter who it is. Could be a nice little white lady. Could be a black guy. Could be a scary monster. Could be a pack of wolves. You know? But she was turning. She was trying to go. First of all, he doesn't know that. Anyway, I'm getting away from my hot take. My hot take is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As soon as she blocked those vehicles, as soon as she said, no, I'm going to drive my vehicle and I'm going to capture all these people. I'm going to enslave them. I'm going to hold these people hostage with my white lady face in my car. At that moment, she showed her intent that she doesn't care about the lives of others. Oh, she's trying to save the people that the ICE agents are going after because they're Nazis. No. She proved that she was a soldier. Somebody that's willing to use a vehicle, a weapon, you know, and it only got worse from there. To me, look, I'm one of those people that when I see people blocking the road, I just want people to ignore them and run over them. Does that make me an evil person? Maybe that's part of my evil side. But you want me to tell you what's really evil? Blocking the road. Holding a bunch of people captive. You don't know what's going on in their lives. You don't know what kind of hurry they're in. You don't know anything about it. You're just appointing yourself the regulator of everything. And you're just going to hold everybody hostage. You're going to sit in the road. You're going to block it. Doesn't matter what they think. Doesn't matter what their reasoning is. Doesn't matter anything. There's no arguments. There's no debates. It's just, nope, I'm blocking you. You're not going past me. You know? You're screwed. You had no warning. I didn't put up any signs. Now you're a hostage. Your car is stuck between two other cars. Now you're a sitting duck. And all these other violent protesters around me, now they Now you don't have a way to get out. That's what she was doing. She was setting up. This is the whole leftist tactic. You block the streets. The ICE agents are there in the sitting ducks. All the violent people come around. And they start throwing snowballs and they start throwing rocks, and that escalates. And the mob mentality grows, and people get angry and they get emboldened. They see one guy throw a snowball and gets away with it. They saw another guy. He throws a rock. He gets away with it. And meanwhile, all of these people in these cars are other human beings with other lives, including ICE agents. They are human beings, men. Some of them are fathers, people with lives, with their own instincts. That for some reason, we think it's okay to train people out of their instincts. No, ignore your instincts, become a robot. We will analyze your every move, frame by frame, in slow motion afterwards, and try to convict you of the crime of obeying your instincts. She did that. She blocked the road. Her lesbian wife, who looks like a man, and I'll get into this later, sat there filming. She was trying to get a TikTok video. She was beside the thing. On the other side of the SUV, this woman in the green plaid is just sitting there filming, getting a TikTok moment. Like, ha, 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 we're doing it. They planned this. She's not even in the vehicle. She's outside of the vehicle, knowing that the roadblock was the point. Later, they catch her sitting on the sidewalk saying, "This is all my fault. I brought her down here." Right. Oh, thank you. An honest moment. It is your fault. It's your fault and her fault together. You two, LARPing, pretending to be heroes. Listen, I can cut you some slack and I'll get into that in a minute. You two women have no business being on the front lines and certainly not trying to impede, throwing yourselves as human shields in front of people going about doing business, going about to find violent criminals to take them out of our country. A very basic fundamental law that most of us agree with. Yeah, we don't like the criminals just hanging out. And when you do a criminal act, you show your intent. You say, I don't care about the law. When she blocked those officers, she didn't care about the law. And it wasn't just that. She was told, get out of your car. Guy tries to open the door. She's locked it. She tries to go in reverse, She decides to speed off. Who cares about the lawful command? There's a guy standing in front of her. Doesn't matter. She starts to go forward anyway. She goes forward. He pulls out his gun. She continues to go forward. He shoots her. Then the wheel turns. That's when you see the wheel turn. She speeds off. She's dead, probably. Foot on the gas, runs down and smashes into the car. But I want to go back to my hot take here. Let's say she did turn first and it was obvious and he wasn't in front of her. Let's put him 5 steps to the left and he's no longer in front of her. Now she's fleeing off down the road. Can he shoot her then? My hot take is yes. He should shoot her then. I see this all the time. I watch these dash cam and cop videos all the time, and these police chases that go on and on and on, and these people swerving in and out of traffic, and they're waiting for the time to do the pit maneuver. And I have opinions about that. I posted about how drones will probably solve this problem, where cops can lay off and just let drones chase them, find them, disable their vehicle, to reduce the possibility of death. But the hot take I'm after here is that the drones don't need to follow them. The cops don't need to follow them. They don't need to have these stupid fucking rules. Well, if they're fleeing, you can't shoot them. Once they're fleeing, you can't shoot them. Oh, really? They just committed a violent act. They're showing you that we know that their adrenaline's up if they're fleeing. People don't make good decisions when they're fleeing. They get more and more desperate. Every minute that goes on, they're more likely to make a bad decision and kill somebody else. The right thing is to stop that. It's just to stop it. Not to think about this one person, oh, she's a mom, she's a lesbian wife, oh, this and this. No, it doesn't matter. She's in a vehicle. She's shown her intent, to not take anybody, to disobey the law. I don't like using that term, but to disobey and to ignore the lives of everyone else around her. My thing first, my survival first. That's why I've been stopped by cops. I remember one time years ago, me and my friend Andrew were driving around and downtown Salt Lake, and we pulled in to get gas at this station, and cops surround our car. And they get out and they pull their guns, rah, 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 yelling. You've seen the scene before. And we're like, what the fuck? So what do? We both slowly got out of the car. We obeyed their orders. And it turned out it was a mistaken identity. There was another car, blah, blah, blah. High drama. But both of us, being regular, rational human beings, just said, what the fuck? And we slowly got out, and the whole thing was over in, I don't know, 15 minutes. Less than that, probably. We got the wrong people. Where were you? And it was over. And the cops were apologetic, sorry about that, and we were both freaked out. Man, we could have gotten killed. Had I been a jackass, or had Andrew been a jackass, they could have opened fire on us. We could have got back in the car and said, fuck this shit, we don't give a fuck. He could have sped off. I could have, we gotta stop letting the criminals run things. This whole thing of, you can't shoot them. You have a duty to flee. If they break in your house, you have a duty to flee. Fuck that. No. You break into my house, you have shown your intent to kill me. I don't care I don't need to sit here and psychoanalyze you at all. I don't need to sit here and guess and give you time to prepare how to kill me, how to get the upper hand. You turn around and flee. I don't know if you're going to turn around and shoot me, and I don't want to wait. I know you're a fucking asshole that has criminal intent. And you have high adrenaline, and you're going somewhere else. It is right for me to assume that this could end up deadly for someone else. If I have the opportunity to stop you, I am immoral if I don't. That is immoral. If you have the opportunity to stop a violent person, high on adrenaline, fleeing, I don't care. Oh, but he's just a boy. Oh, but he's this, this. Fuck you. The time for figuring all that stuff out is before you commit the act, before you decide to take the whole road hostage for your political agenda, to LARP around like you're some kind of hero and film your fucking TikTok video while you're calling these guys Nazis. And we know what it is. When you call somebody a Nazi, what you're saying is this person deserves to die. That's what you are saying. When you call somebody a Nazi, you are saying, execute this person. Kill this person. It's a cute roundabout way of doing it. But nobody's calling you a Nazi, would ever say, did the Nazis deserve a nice life? Did they deserve to live? If you meet a Nazi back in the day, should they go home and have dinner with their family? No. The people that are saying that Nazis deserve to die. That's why they're calling them Nazis. And now you see all these governors and mayors, get the fuck out. They're doing the same playbook as 2020. This time it seems that they've figured out that putting white women on the front lines, and this is a long time coming too. You're seeing it more and more. All these women, this white liberal women, you've seen the meme. They're more dangerous than the fucking Somalians. You know? And I'll cut them slack. You know? I'll cut them slack by saying the men should have never allowed feminism to come in here, because feminism is nothing but just training them to be like that. You're just like a man. Go do it. Be a man. You're a soldier. You're tough just like a man. Go LARP. Go take your vehicle. It's a tank. You're and your lesbian girlfriend. By the way, that woman that was shot, not a real lesbian. I know real lesbians, okay? That woman is a victim of the same thing that we've been talking about on this channel, or I've been talking about on this channel for the past couple of weeks. Programming. White men are bad. It's bad to be white. You can't be white. You're a Nazi if you're white. You can't be white. That woman was proving that she's not white. I'm not one of them. I'm not a Nazi. I promise. Watch, I'll drive my car. I'll stop the guys. Another white hero. You know, Tyler Robinson again. We're going to see it over and over again, because that's been the programming over the last century. They've literally got women signing up to be soldiers on the front line. You think Hamas is bad? You hear about people talking about Hamas using women and children as shields. That's what that is. That's what feminism is. Put the women in charge. You want to make a country easy to take over? Put the women in charge. That's how you get your country taken over. Sorry, ladies. I'm not trying to get you to unsubscribe. But if you put the women in charge, they don't stand a chance against men. They don't. And these weak-ass fucking betas on the left, they put the women out there in front. It's going to happen. You're going to see the children doing it. They're next. You know, BLM. We're going to see the people bringing their kids. They already did that last time, 2020. Moms bringing our kids to the protests. You know, it's sickening. It's sickening. So did she deserve to die? She didn't deserve to be programmed into becoming a feminist, into hating herself and hating white men, the father of her children, and going after her. She's like not fully lesbian, so she picks some butch lesbian. I call them stepdad dykes, you know, where the born this way dykes. That wife of hers that lived, that's likely a born this way dyke, okay? You can argue with me if you want to, but we all know them. They have the saggy butt, just like your stepdad, the pot belly, and they're mostly seem all men. It's like the really feminine men like Richard Simmons that you don't want to see him trying to pretend like he's straight. He'll gross you out. Just like you don't want to see the stepdad dyke pretending to be straight, because that will also gross you out. You know. But so she picked her, the lesbian, to be her wife. But she doesn't have the strength. She's not a man. She's not a man. A real man would not say, hey, dear wife, why don't you pull our nice little SUV in front of these ICE agents and block their way? They have guns. All of them have guns. They're trained to kill. Their adrenaline is up because they're on a mission. They've been trained, to not let anybody in their way. But, honey, why don't you block them? What kind of fucking man would do that? I mean, there are some. You can find them in the Middle East. Beta men, weak men, terrible men, awful, evil men do that. the evil men that were behind feminism. Oh, what are you saying, Merkley? Well, you're saying feminism is a man thing? Yes, it is. It is a man thing. Okay, feminism exists because men allow it to exist. The judges, the beta, the powdered wig fellas, you know. When men decide that feminism is no longer useful, it goes away. It just goes away. So it is a man thing. Marxism is also a man thing. So I'll give women this. I'll give them this. Behind most evil things, there are men. Because they're the stronger ones. But guess who should be fighting those men? Other men. Not you. Not you, lady. You're off the hook. Go home. Go home. Don't use your car. Don't use yourself to block the road. Okay? You're not cut out for it. You're going to lose. You're being used as a pawn. You're being used as a human shield by some weak, terrible men. Awful men are using you for that. Oh, but I did it myself, Merkley. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. All this programming I've been talking about this week, that was aimed at you to separate you from being who you are, to separate me from being who I am, you know, to feel ashamed for being that. Can you imagine how long people have been programming women to feel ashamed for being mothers? You're just a mother. Oh, you're a stay-at-home mom. Oh, you should have a corporate job. You should count beans in this cubicle. You can get an office with a view. Work for the big CEO, the man. Oh, but it's a woman CEO. Oh, okay. Ever check the board of directors? You know, it's just LARPing. But anyway, back to the point. You have a moral duty that if you see somebody acting irrationally, trying to be a hero, trying to be a criminal, and driving away, you can shoot him in the back of the head. In the back of the head. That's my hot take. That's the controversial take that nobody's talking about. They're all trying to nitpick. Did she turn her wheel before? Did she turn it after? Was that cop a mind reader? He should have been able to mind read, you know? He should have waited until she turned the wheel towards him. He should have waited until he was underneath the car with his skull being cracked by the tire. He should have waited, and then he could have been sure what she intended. Then he could have fired a shot. He should have waited till his bones in his legs were cracking and breaking under the tire. Until the car was on top of him, peeling out, ripping the flesh off of his femur. He should have waited for that. And you homeowner, you should wait until the teenagers rob you of everything. You should wait until you find out, wait until that bullet is traveling at your face before you decide to fire your gun. You see what they're doing? That's the whole thing. Is they're always playing on your good nature to allow them to commit their crime and run scot-free. It's just disgusting, and they're setting it up again. The Tim Walz, Jacob Fry, Jewish guy, Jewish mayor of Minneapolis, get the fuck out, ICE. This weak man, this weak, effeminate man. We won't take this, Tim Walz, weak, effeminate man. They are Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, weak, effeminate man. She's a woman, okay? It's a joke. What's her name? This other woman from Minnesota? Rise up, rise up. They are literally trying to create more women to go on the front lines. Isn't that what we say we hate about Hamas? Rise up. We won't take it. They want more women to die. They love this. Are you kidding me? Tim Walz, Jacob Fry, all the Democrats, the people out there, they're like, yes, yes, this is a new 2020. We're going to get it. Remember how we won the election? Remember how we stole the election in 2020 with a summer of riots and riots and riots and just getting people exhausted and, with constant violence, burning down cities, George Floyd. That's the excuse. Now you're going to hear Renee Good, over and over again. Not as good, but hell, at least she's a lesbian white lady. They're loving it. They are loving this. They are excited because they want chaos. There's no better way than making things chaotic than getting all the ladies involved. Okay? You want chaos? Get the ladies out on the front line. Sorry, ladies. I know 60% of you listening to this are ladies. But be honest with yourself. Just be honest with yourselves. You don't need to be fighting wars. I'm telling you, you don't need to be fighting wars. You don't need to pretend that you're like a man. You're wonderful as a woman. You're fucking magic, okay? You can create life. It's absolutely magic. You're sitting there trying to create a corporate job counting beans. You can create life. Literally crazy that you can do that. But these leftists, that's stupid. You want to be just a mom? You don't want to be in the prison room. Get a job. Be lonely. Be by yourself. Get some cats. That's where true happiness is. You don't want to be with a man, a white man, a authority, a patriarch. Fathers are bad. Don't you watch TV? They're all Archie Bunker, Nazi, racist, homophobic, bigot. Providing for his family. It's upside down and it's backwards. And the hot take, yes, don't just shoot the people coming forward. Shoot the people going away. We got to start eliminating these people. I'm not trying to start I'm trying to return back to common sense. A man has a duty to protect his family and his community. And when you see something like that, when you see somebody appointing themselves to be a danger to the community, solve the fucking problem. That way people stop doing it. I don't know what's going to happen. Are more ladies going to sign up now? You saw the crowds are growing, and they're going to keep growing because the politicians, the weak, effeminate leftist politicians, yes, more chaos, more chaos. We want more. Tim Walz's wife said she kept the windows open so she could smell the burning tires. She wanted to be connected with the riots. You want to take LARPing to the biggest, Tim Walz, a guy hanging out with China, always over there loving the Chinese. He's a communist. He's an effeminate man. The army that they're putting together are people. They don't command the military. They command the crazy people, the insane people, the lost people. So beware. 2020, I'm afraid to say it's probably nothing compared to what we're going to see coming up towards midterms, because when the Democrats want to win, this is what they do. They create chaos, and they're perfectly happy, thrilled, overjoyed to sacrifice some white liberal ladies to get it done. They'll put the black guys out there. They'll put the Latinos out there. Anybody. They pray for these things to happen because they know they can stop them. They know that they can simmer down the temperature, say, hey, everybody go home. Let the police officers do their jobs. It doesn't really affect you. If you came here legally, you're fine. But if you're committing a crime, then you have to worry about it. And, you know, you can easily escape this situation nonviolently. If you're in the country illegally, there's been an offer on the table that will fly you home, $3,000 plane ticket. And if you take it, you might have an opportunity to come back. But if we have to take you out, then you won't have the opportunity. These Democrats could say, hey, it's a pretty good deal. Take it. If you want to be here, we'll sponsor you, blah, blah, blah. But go. Don't wait for ICE agents to show up, you know, because that could turn violent. These are human beings, not Nazis. They're human beings trying to enforce laws. But leftists hate laws like that. They hate them. They want the chaos. They want the death. They want to seize power. Power is the only thing they respect. So here's me hoping that Trump demonstrates power. I really do. I don't want him to be this. I don't think he will. So far, he's been great, you know. But this is not the time to validate, you know, and enable this shoving of women onto the front lines to be shot, to draw fire. That's what they're doing. They're drawing fire. That's been the language, all the language. Set it up, draw the fire, then fucking milk it. Fan the flames, pour gas on the fire. Nazi, they're murderers. The ICE agent wasn't a father trying to get home to his children. No, he's a Nazi. He's just going in and trying to kill people because they're brown. It's disgusting, this language they're using. It's disgusting what they're doing. You know, women, please, just don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. You know, it's not your place. Don't go out and put yourselves on the front line. You won't win. You're not going to win. Okay? They've set up systems for you to go through courts and take all the money and blah, 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 blah. You got a bunch of beta males that will come to your defense for this or that. But if you're out there on the front lines, you're going to lose. You're going to lose every single time because God did not make you for that. He didn't. You don't have the brain for it. You don't have the body for it. You've got the nice, soft arms, the nice, beautiful, soft skin, you know, the hips. Everything about you is beautiful. You're supposed to be doing beautiful things. You're good at it. You're made for it. You know, you're not supposed to be out there being a fucking military pawn. So don't do it. The good news is that I think masculinity is returning. I think finally Trump is emboldening people. People are waking up that this turn towards letting your feminine side, find your inner woman, men. Be more soft, be more sensitive. I think we're seeing where that has gotten us. It's gotten us to white women being shot in the face. You know, Life is going to be a lot more safe if you got masculine men out there doing shit. You know, and I think it's coming back. I think Trump's going to behave in a masculine way. And I think we might see a return, if we want to, we might see a return to the way God made people. Moms and dads, families. Dad's out providing. Mom's taking care. You know? Loving. Hugging. Putting Band-Aids on scraped knees. Not fucking counting beans for ExoCorp. Doing something that matters, something that's beautiful, something that's magical. Not getting shot in the eye for fucking trying to pretend she's a soldier. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening.
Unnecessary outro song to totally waste